Hello, this is GeoTechLand, and today I'll be talking about Microsoft buying GitHub for $7.5 billion, all in stock. And so this is big news because they're buying GitHub, which has been the hub for a lot of open source software, specifically a lot of open source software that's essentially trying to replace Microsoft. So that's kind of the irony here. Now, many people are freaking out, and it really doesn't surprise me. The most shocking thing is that people are surprised by GitHub being bought out. But I mean, first of all, they're a for-profit company with proprietary software. So this situation is kind of equivalent to the YouTube situation where, you know, YouTube was started off as being this pro content creator hub. I always thought in the back of my head, I'm seeing all these like very different political news channels that are really going against the mainstream, but they're on YouTube, which is owned by Google, which is a for-profit company. So that always made me like suspicious, like, yeah, something's it may be good now, but eventually it's gonna suck. And well, as you know, the adpocalypse came, and that's very similar to here, where GitHub is like, hey, GitHub is the place for open source and with open source software. But hey, GitHub is a for-profit company. I'm hearing all this talk about investors and stuff and raising money, and their software itself is proprietary. So it's kind of like, well, it only stays pro open source or pro people in a sense for so long, just by its very nature. It's the same thing with Facebook. Facebook started off cool, no ads, and guess what? Once they gain market share, start putting ads, start controlling your news feeds. Even recently, they started really adding. I use the web app version of Facebook, and because I definitely don't want to install their app. And now they've included like a button where you can see what people are selling. So their goal is to make profit, and not just make profit, but increase their profit every year. That's kind of the whole point of investing in them. You know, it's like, hey, let me invest in you, and next year I'm hoping you guys will make profit and I'll get a return on my investment. So it's kind of like their goal. So even though Microsoft is trying to embrace the open source community here, I think in the short term, things will be as usual. They'll be fine. It may even help open source in the short term, but in the long term, what's Microsoft's number one goal is to make money and to make profits, and especially increase those profits every year, just like Facebook, just like Google. And so you should always remain skeptical and definitely not trust these type of organizations. So I honestly thought GitHub itself was open source in some way, and it turns out it really isn't. And now obviously people are moving to GitLab, which is it's probably the more popular alternative I'm seeing here. Now GitLab is better because at least their software is open source, but they're still a for-profit company. So again, you should always be cautious and skeptical, and you know, never put your eggs in one basket. I personally use YouTube, Facebook, and obviously Windows, but I try not to put my eggs in one basket. You know, obviously I still use those because there's a lot of people still there, and I want to spread my message and spread what I have to say. So it's kind of needed to be there. But I'm also on alternative sites like Minds, like BitChute, Diaspora, and a lot of them are nonprofit. And so I'm not surprised by this news, considering how GitHub is structured, proprietary, for-profit. And so again, I think most people should be fine in the short term, but Microsoft wants to make profits. Eventually, I foresee GitHub not being a good place to have your software, but who knows how it goes. But that's just based on the evidence. You know, like I said, I already gave examples: YouTube, Facebook, how they became, how pro creator, how pro people friendly they were. That's just to gain market share, and then they start, all right, let's try to make a profit on this now. That's when they start sucking. Other than that, guys, that's my 2 cents on this issue here. If you found the video helpful and informative and insightful, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.